Hey everybody, this is Evan Carthy from evancarthy.com, and today it is September 13th and the markets are closed. Huge sell-off today, so let's talk about that based upon how I trade the markets using my technical setups. So as you see right here, this is S&P 500 E-minis. Looking at the chart, 1 hour chart right here, you can see when the Fed announced there's going to be 100 basis points raised. The market just completely sold off. So how can we tell that there was going to be at least some downside in the market? Not necessarily, over a 4% drop today, but what do I look for? So one of the first things I do is I go to, this was the 4 hour chart, not the 1 hour chart, because what I use to see if a market could be overbought or oversold, I use the money flow index. Now it doesn't guarantee the market's going to sell off when it is overbought or buy, start a rally when it is oversold, but it does give a hint that it could be coming up soon. And as you can see right here, down over here, price had gone above the top black line right here for the money flow index, and just let me know that the market was overbought, that there's eventually going to be some type of pullback in the market. How much? I don't know. That this indicator doesn't tell me that. It just tells me that there's probably going to be some downside in the market. So when price came up here starting on September 8th or so, as you can see, the market kept on going up as this thing remained in oversold territory. So eventually something's going to crack and it is going to sell off, and that's what happened today with it as well. So here we have coming down to that. Plus as well, for the way I use the LA wave, I use it on the 1 hour charts now. Using the 5 minute charts was just way too much drawing. So 1 hour charts does make it a whole lot easier. It especially helps to identify, where the trend, where the market's going is. Also as well, because we switched back to the 4 hour chart, you can see here on the 4 hour chart, when price started getting down here in the oversold area, it was entering into the 5th wave. So we're just waiting for it to get sold off. There's the 1 hour chart, and as you can see, it did. Now what I look for when I trade is I use the inside pitchforks, and I'll show that here in just 1 second. But there was one real interesting one where it hit the midline for it. Let me get that one on here. That's not it. That's not it. Do I even have it up there? I may have deleted it. But yeah, I did delete it. Okay, no big deal. Let me show you where it was, because I do remember where it was. So using the 1, 3, and the 4. Let's see if I can get it right there. That wasn't it. I think it was this one. Using the 0 point, the 3rd point, and the 4th point. You can see price these usually a lot whenever prices have that 5th wave down. Price usually gets some type of congestion over here on the midline, the red line right there. So from this one right here, using the 0, the 3, get on there, and the 4, look at this. When price went up there, ticked off that midline right there, and then just sold all the way down. So pretty interesting right there that I want to point out. But what I'm looking for as far as any trades going in is I trade off the 5 minute chart and the 15 minute chart. So the 5 minute chart, there really isn't too much that is looking good right now for it. The one trade using the red dots right here, going from right there to right there to right there. What I'm waiting for is the price to break above this yellow line right here. When that happens, then I'll be looking for a long going up to the target over here, that line right there. But as you can see, that isn't necessarily going to happen anytime soon, because going back to the 4 hour chart, price has broken down out of the oversold area for it right there, but it still definitely has some way to go before we start getting down close to the bottom. So I'm looking for at least another day or two of more downside to the market. Probably, not as much, a 4% drop as it was today, but there's definitely more room until this gets closer down here to the oversold area down over here for the market to move down further. But there isn't any like 5-way move that you can actually do right here, because as you can see, price just straight dropped off a cliff right there. Never even came back today for it. Never came back to to hitting the mark over here to initiate the first wave for it. So I'm still looking for more downside in the market tomorrow. Now on the 15-minute chart, there is a whole lot nicer of a long setup, which will be the next major long setup I'll be looking to take for it. It's this one right there. So what we're looking for is whenever the low gets in right here, and this creates the red using this, see this right here, semaphore. That's the semaphore indicator. It basically just helps to show when there's kind of pivot points in the market. And the red ones are the strongest ones, white ones are the next strongest, but the main ones I trade off are the red ones. So using that red dot right there. Red dot right there. Still waiting for the next red dot to form. Hasn't formed yet. But when it does, that's when we'll lock the bottom of the inside pitchfork into it. And then, just wait. And then whenever price comes up, closes above the yellow line right here, wherever that's going to happen, then I just like marking it right there and looking for the exit to be somewhere on that green line right here. There are a couple times when that ends up not being the exit. So say for instance, like actually I think there is one in here in the Russell 2000. So if price, as you can see there, this is using the 1 hour or the 4 hour chart. Yeah, I think it's the 4 hour chart. So using 1 hour chart. So using the 1 hour chart right here, you can see here I have the dot right there. There's a dot right there, and there's a dot right there. So price came up. Obviously closed above the yellow line right there. That initiated the long. So the target we're looking for is somewhere along this green line for that to be in the trade. But as you can see, it has not done that. It's sold off just like the other markets today. And we're still looking for the green line up there. But if price does continue to go lower, and this is a valid long setup, then the exit that we're looking for is I draw this line where we had the close to open, kind of like that area right there. I just draw a block line for it right there, and that's going to be the exit, because for some reason when price does break out that right there, it eventually does at least come up at minimum, come up and go and hit that line. So that'd be kind of like the last exit. So if price keeps on going lower, and the time over it creates it to where the green line goes below the black line right there. That's where the exit comes, and that's where the last exit will be for it, for eventually to come up there and hit that, because that did just happen today here in the Russell 2000. There was one, I believe it was it this trade right here? Which one was it? No, that's a long, so it's got to be this one right here. I believe it's this one. Using right there, and right there. Yeah, this is it. So yeah, as you can see from a couple days ago, price initiated this short right here, and the initial target we were looking at was down here in this green line, but as you can see, it never got down there. It just got down to about 1804.7, but never hit the green line right around here. So when it started reversing the other way for it, and it started going higher and higher and higher, and it broke that basically broke that previous high over there, I just said, okay, the exit we're looking for is going to be where it initially broke out of, which is about right there. So just draw the black line right about there. So that's going to be the exit. Now, as you can see today, once we finally had that huge sell-off, look what happened today. Price came back, hit it pretty much right to the tick, and that closes that trade out right there. So I don't know the reason why that works, but if price doesn't come down initially, when that initial trade setup gets and hits it down over here, and it just reverses and goes the other way, then I make the exit be where the initial breakout was for it, and that's going to be the last spot for it. Because as you can see today, yeah, that huge sell-off. This was in the Russell 2000 market, 4% drop in the market today, came down there and ticked off it perfectly. So anyways, wrapped up what I'm looking for more in the S&P 500 market, and basically all markets tomorrow is going to be some more downside, and I wouldn't be surprised to see during the day if, I'll just go to the 1 hour chart right here, if we do get, let me just delete some of this stuff as well, if the market does show some sort of like temporary bounce a little bit, and it goes kind of like, up like this somewhere along the way, but eventually I think we're definitely going to get at minimum kind of like an ABC move, what we're looking for down there. Price comes up, hits it somewhere along there. It didn't have to be the 38.6. I've been using also the 0.238. Let's put that on there. Excuse me, 0.236. Make that green. Get 30.2 off there. Okay. So come up there and at least the 23.6 retracement level from wherever this low gets in, and then continue its move down there tomorrow, and at least maybe the day after, until we can get the price closer, or at least closer to the oversold area. Not actually going down into it before we start seeing a bounce, but definitely away from the overbought area, which we had been in for several days now. And as you can see, price really made a resounding crash today. So anyways, that's it. September 13th for the markets. Evan Carthy from evancarthy.com. Take care out there. Bye.